Pretty chilly. Very close to freezing. Definitely dropped through the night. Can see the frost. Tented well. Had a decent sleep. My feet were cold, even with 2 pairs of socks. And of course, the stove, every time I fell asleep, the stove went out, of course, and then the temperature really plummeted inside the tent. This is the flap I'm on about. There's no Velcro. I will be fitting some Velcro so you can seal it down and open maybe one end. I mean, this really opens quite big. I'll show you later through the days. But all the cold air would have come. And I'm sleeping along that side. I would have been frozen. Fire's burning. I just grabbed some twigs because I ran out of the small stuff, and obviously they're damp. And they're the ones that are smoking because all the other wood's been inside all night. Beautiful scenery. But my hands are going blue already. Cold. I've got to kind of harden up to this because I think the 3 months off have made me soft. Too much central heating. But beautiful. So it's 8 o'clock. I had a line as such. I've got to have a coffee and there's no panic. As I say, we're here for 6 days, covering all this side as far as we can go. This is the southern side of the river, and I think it branches off and then we won't be able to get across. But that means if I can't, I mean, nothing's been found on the river and the river's drained right down, so we don't have to worry about that. But just in case anything happened along there. But we've got to cover it. I don't think so, but it hasn't been covered as far as I know. One day I want to go over the tops there and have a scout around the back of this Munro, because I've gone up on the high ground, I've gone up to the waterfall, but I want to go over the top, and then there's a little valley on the other side. I doubt if Neil went there, but got to cover it. But the main area over a few days will be through that tree line. Not so much over here. We will be covering over here, but nearer to where his tent site is, just in case he jumped the fence to go for a call of nature. Why? But some people are prudish. Yeah, it's a theory that been in my mind. It could happen, and then when you're in that forest, you get confused. Don't forget, Neil was 71. He suffered from Alzheimer's, and he did get confused at times and wander off. But the thing is, he was alert most of the time, and he did know what he's doing. He was a happy guy. But, you know, it's very easy when you're at that age and you are suffering from Alzheimer's, and you do get confused easily, and hence the wandering. And it could have happened. So we will have to have a look. We've got a stag watching us. Don't know if I can pick it up. Sit. Yeah, dead centre on that ridge line. He's just turning away now. No, stopped again. Nosy thing, aren't they? Right, I think I've had my coffee and warm my feet up. But no snow yet. That could happen. Main aim this morning, before we do anything, is find some good wood. Because yesterday I was tired. I didn't want to mess about. I just wanted to cut wood because the time was running out. So I've got to find a good log and cut it with a bow saw, and then chop it in segments and have it ready for chopping. Because I can do that in the tent if I had to, if the weather turned. But I've got to find some good wood. Right, coffee. 11:30. Time has flown. Had a job, found a great log, cutting it, using a bow saw. Rebel's messing about, got his coat all over the place. Shouted at him, had to go and sort his coat out. Came back and the log had dropped a bit and snagged the bow saw, so I couldn't get the bow saw out. So I had to get the backhoe out and cut the other end. And imagine cutting a log that size with a backhoe. Pain. So I got tons of spindly stuff off the ground that helped to start it. I'm waiting for the sun to come round to dry the frost off. As you can see, there's a frost still on the tent even at this time. I'm hoping the sun will come round, it'll dry all the frost off the spindly bits, then I can break it all off. And I've got a bag, I brought a bag, I'll put it in a bag and keep it in there for fire starting. Middle-sized wood, and there's plenty in there, middle-sized wood. The log, when I start cutting out and splitting it, that'll do us for tonight and probably most of tomorrow. Sorry, I'm eating yesterday's cheese and onion roll because I've got to have a lunch on the go. It's still freezing, as you can see. Done most of the chores, got water, fed dogs. I mean, look, that'll show you. Now you see what I mean about that vent. Imagine all that icy cold air flying through at night. You need some ventilation. I was leaving one of the vents on the top up there, more or less saggy and open, so that air would come in and any smoke that built up. Every time I open fire, there's a bit of smoke because it's damp wood. But as you can see, there's a good frost on there, isn't there? And this is 11:30 in the morning. So I'm going to eat my cheese rolls, put some gloves on because it's freezing, tighten the lines up, and then we're setting off down. Hey, get away my food. Sorry about that. And we're setting off on the southern side and scanning the southern side as far as we can go. I don't think we can go far, but that was on the list. Hopefully tomorrow we'll get up into that forest. Absolutely freezing. I'm starving. Hard work cutting that wood, but I'm finding lots of wood now. If you look, you'll find it. Right. Sorry, I'm eating. Do excuse me. Catch you on during the search. So we walked from camp over there, and there's a slight trail, got on some high ground, and we're staying in the sun, and I'm hoping the sun's going to swing round in a bit, and then we'll come along the tree line. But we're going to push as far as we can up here. Sorry, you're probably out of focus a minute ago. Snow on the tops, not much though. I thought there'd be more, but all of these would be covered with, no, not yet. But they are predicting snow today. But don't look it at the moment, maybe later on this afternoon. But it's absolutely beautiful. It's better Stella being out in the sun and moving than be sat in the tent. I can't have the stove on when I'm not there. I'm not a magician. But yeah, it's nice out there. Lots of pools of water, all iced over. So using the high ground to scan around, anything grabs our attention we go. I'm pushing the dogs in front of me, even Stella's going in front, and letting them just peck around. I don't expect to find anything down here, but hey, you never know, do you? Sorry, Stella wants love. Sport dog. They're happy. Right, let's push on. That directly in front of us is the second river crossing, the one that's normally high. So we're on this side, and that's what we want to scan, these back areas, little islands, pool areas, anywhere something could be that you can't see when you're on that side, on the far side. That's the northern side, this is the southern side. As I say, I don't know how much of this has been done. I've had the maps from the Mountain Rescue that covered them, and I don't think this side has been covered. Not far anyway. As I say, we're going to use the high ground as well, and then we're going to go back along the tree line near the plantation, alongside the plantation. I've got some really good binoculars. I don't really need them for this because it's such a thin strip. It's not that wide. But if it was a more wider area, I'd start using the binoculars. It's more scanning these back areas things could get stuck, and you won't see like up there. So I'll have to have a look in a minute. All good fun, isn't it? It's not too bad, as I say. My hands are frozen. Cutting out down wood. River crossing number 1. It's not far from that sign. It's just to the, it's in front of the sign and to the left. You won't see it, it's a bit of dead ground there. So we're on, the 2 river crossings are very close, first and second. Sorry if anyone's just joining this video and don't know where I am. I'm in the Bridge of Orchy area of Scotland. This is about 2 miles from Bridge of Orchy. It's the Clashgore area, and if you follow a trail on the other side of the river, which everyone normally does, it leads to Loch Dochard, and Loch Dochard is where the hiker Neil Skinner went missing. But he was known to wander, and I don't mean wander like a mile or half a mile, known to wander quite a way. He had gone missing a few months earlier in the Isle of Skye, and he disappeared for about 5 miles. See it here? Did you hear the gunshot there? Someone's stalking. You hear our echoes. There was the second one. That didn't echo so much. It's amazing when you ex-military, you get used to the sounds and how the sounds echo. It's weird. So yeah, he went missing up there, and he did wander. Oh, that's the theory anyway. And if he has wandered, then he is miles away. He could be this way. He could have been trying to get back to the car that was parked at Victoria Bridge car park, not far from Bridge of Orchy. And he could have took the wrong side of the river. That's why. He's really doing some shooting. He must be out in the valley up there, which is behind his farm. That's Stephen, the estate man. I think he's classed as the head cattle man. I haven't seen no cows. I've seen cow dung, but no cows. I thought stalking had finished, but that's hence why the jackets, people keep saying to me, well, Rogues is small, too small for her. It was never ever to keep them warm. It was for I could see them, and plus anyone shooting can't say if they shot the dog, can't say they thought it was a deer with a great big fluorescent jacket on. Right, we're pushing on, further on that way. Beautiful day now. Just take it nice and easy, especially for Stella. These 2 have been searching ahead. Rebel's really good at it. He's a nosy dog. So I'm working on go find. And every time, if he finds a human object, like a bottle, a glove, oh, tons of praise. I should have brought some treats, I forgot them. But work on that kind of, so he will actually go looking for the items to get some treats. That's the plan. But he's good. He is good. Right, let's push on. This is the other side where the broken fence is. It's very hard to get over. If you've been in this area, you know what I mean. Sorry if it's not focusing very well. And all the erosion on the bank there, which is, you see this great big chunk? Sorry, zoomed in too much. That great big chunk has just fell away recently this year. God knows where the trail will lead then. So yeah, covering along the bank here. Looking for any signs. Obviously the signs are not going to be that big. Could be clothing, human items, sadly bones, you know what I mean. Anything that grabs their attention. Hate to be morbid, but you just got to cover that point, haven't you? Shooting stopped. I guess Stephen's been on his sniper scope and seeing us down here. Stella, get out! The people on the estate always like to keep an eye on who's around. It's just something they do. So I'm bound to get a visit. I saw him yesterday afternoon driving in his 4x4, but I don't think he saw us. And I did see 2 hikers going towards Loch Dochard, which is surprising, but I doubt if they're staying for the day or anything. See what I mean? I like dogs nosing. I don't call him back or anything when they're doing this on the searches. Look, see how he's got his head to the ground? He's probably deer trailing. But one day he will find something. I know it. I just know it in my bones. He's going to come up with something. Maybe not on this search, but somewhere. So we follow the bank up. It swings round. It branches off into a V. One side goes down alongside the northern side of the bank. Hey, you three, out! Don't want them getting soaked. They'll get cold. It's like Mother Hubbard, don't I? But anyway, and the right one branches right round and then goes into a circuit. Stella, get here! She loves water, but her leg won't. She's already been dunking, look. Kill her. And I do believe when we get up here, it gets too wide for anyone to get across up here. Let's have a look. You're probably going to get the sun in your camera. Let's have a look. No, maybe we can get around it. We'll try that. Have to double back. Yeah, just on the top. There's a bridge over there. So we'll try that. So we know, I mean, when Neil went missing in May, the river levels were higher. For some reason, it's low here. I don't know why at this time of year. But you wouldn't want to trudge through all that. That doesn't look deep, but it's deeper than it looks because of the silt in the bottom. You two. You want to go dunking. Right, let's go round. We've got to double back and go round. Came from, followed the bank along that side. It led us to a U bend where the river comes round, swings round, but then it comes around here on the left hand side. So we're completely trapped in here. So we've got to go all the way back to even get to the fence line. So if you came this way, you'd be wandering around in circles, but the good thing is it's not that big. You know what I mean? You can only go one way. It's like a big U. So you have to go back out the way you came in. Rebel? Oh. So we've got to find a trail and get around this river if we can. There's the end of the marsh that's come round, swept round on the right hand side. It does trickle through a stream coming down, meeting it. So you get sucked into a giant U shape. And when you get there, you can't go left, you can't go forward, you can't go right, so you have to come back. The going there is really hard. We cut across tussocks and about knee high, maybe just above. At this time of year, and the grass is all dying down. In May, that grass would be about at least 5 high, and it would probably saturate with water. There'll be midges, bugs, stinky mud because of the heat, you know what I mean? Everything's all calmed down because of the temperatures at this time of year for us. But now we'll follow the ridge line, the fence line, and see how far we can get up there before we get hit by another river, I think. But got to do it. Rebel's digging around. There's bridges there. That looks like deer, the way he's tracking. So see how far we go. Tired. We're getting a lot of these bog areas that you have to more or less leap over, and going on what I was told about Neil. He had one of these ankles was playing up, so I can't see him leap in bog at 71 years of age. I don't know what she's doing. Trying to get comfortable. So, and we're going to meet, I've checked on the map, there's another 2 coming up on there. And that's what I thought. We'll get stopped by the water and the marsh. What is she doing? Rogue, calm down. I think she's trying to dig a little pit so she can lie on it. See if I'm right. There you go. You're such a stupid cow. So yeah. Oh, I've just seen a bridge there. So we might use that to get across this one. But if it gets much worse, we'll have to turn back because Neil ain't going to go jump in ditches unless there is a bridge. So we'll try that bridge, see how safe it is. But we'll only go as far as he would, because He's not going to trudge through swamp. If he sinks in there, he's going to be up to his knees, maybe his thighs. And don't forget, in the summer, all this grass will be much higher. It'll be boggier. There'll be midges, insects. It'll be terrible. I mean, it's only died down now because of the winter's coming. It's hitting us now. So all this grass is dying off. There's no insects. It's pleasant to hike in because it's cool. But when he was doing it, it was totally the opposite. As you can see, there's a good 6-foot fence here. No real crossing points to get over. I've seen one gate right more or less near where we were camped. That's about it. So there's no way a 71-year-old is going to go scrambling over that. If he did get stuck over it, he would have to go backward. I don't think he's gone this way, but I want to cover as far as I can. That's sensible, you know what I mean, for someone his age and struggling with one of his ankles. I don't think it was bad, but it was bad enough so you wouldn't want to go leaping things. Right, especially after trudging through all that, you wouldn't want it. It'd tire you out. Right, let's try this bridge. Clashcore hut is just up there on the left hand side where that tree line ends. At the corner, I don't know if you can see it. To the left, just above the fence. And this is getting really hard going for us. Tussocks. So what I'm doing is using the high ground to check these pools, because when you're on the other side you won't be able to see these pools. So I'm going to get on all this high ground and look down and see if there's any hidden pools or anything like that, and we can see anything. Warm in the sun, cold in the shade. Just in front of us on the other side of the river is that 2-plank bridge near the fence. That's got one of Neil's missing posters on. Oops, sorry. Moving on this grass. Been scanning down into these pools. There's quite a few of these pools around this side, out the way. Nothing. Wooden planks. Tree trunks that look weird colours that drew my attention, but nothing human at all. Not even rubbish, which is nice, but not a stitch. Right, we're going to call it here. The reason it's getting rougher up there, and we're near the Clashcore farm. I can come down that side from Victoria Bridge. I just wanted to see how far and how tough it was, but I'm telling you now, I can't see him. I mean, I've been doing this years, and it's hard work, even at this time of year. The tussocks are so high. And as I say, when he went missing, them tussocks would have been a lot more higher. And it would have been boggy insects, and it's been a pig hole to walk through. And I don't know if it was raining when he went missing, but I mean, you had the rain in if he did go missing when it was raining, and that's just a disaster coming through that stuff. It's so, as you can see, we're looking down, that's what it's like, the land. And from here it looks just like loads of molehills, doesn't it? But it's about 5 deep, them tussocks are. And to walk through them, it's just a nightmare. Right, heading back. It's getting late. I've got to feed them and cut firewood. It gets dark about 3:30, 4:45. That's the problem, isn't it, with winter? So you lose a lot of time. But we covered what I wanted. I knew this would be a small one today. That's why I set it for the first one. I want to see how far. You could go a bit further, but it's just, I think, to me, impossible. Waste of time trudging through all them tussocks. I could come down, as I say, from Victoria Bridge, so, and meet in the middle more or less. But again, God knows what I'll find coming down that way. I'm more interested, you know, not going too far from that Loch Dochard area, within range, 4 or 5 miles. That's my circuit anyway. Radius, about 4 or 5 miles. 5, let's say 5. I reckon it's about 5 nearly. I mean, you're zigzagging. You're not going in a straight line to get here. Right, back to camp. A pig. I found trees, planks, bits of fencing. God knows how many years old it is. And it's also very wet as well, as you can see. Oh God, we cut off by swamp now. Hold on, Rebel, over there. We came up on the edge. I want everyone getting drowned. We'll freeze tonight. Go on in. There they go. See what I mean? And it'll be 10 times worse in May. You see why I called it. And this is good. The river level's low. If it was higher and they came up, my God. People say, well, May should be better. But as you know, in Scotland, the weather's so unpredictable, and proved the point when Neil went missing immediately after, and for the next few days the weather's that bad, search and rescue had to hold off for 48 hours on a lot of gear. I think they couldn't get a helicopter out and dogs and all that. So there's our bridge. You go for that. In contrast, ice, frost, and on that side, sunshine. Our tent is in the sun. We shall see. Rebel, you're useless. You ain't found anything. You've been deer tracking. There again, I haven't seen any sign of human life down here, except for the little bridges. I need a nice hot cup of coffee. Oh, good idea, eh? Go along the fence on the way back. No. We're basically walking in a swamp. It's just all swamp round here. I don't know if you can see the sun there. It's under the sun there. It's basically all run off the mountain. That plantation's on a slope, so it's all run off, and it's kind of pooled on the base behind, just as it's past the fence. So we've got a cut back there. Look, the swamp there. We've walked into a swamp. Oh dear. We've got a cut over towards that riverside. So not a chance of him going through that. He wouldn't make what, a couple hundred yards before he's sinking out into his waist. It's deep enough for some of the pools there. Oh, it's great to be back. Walking in sludge. Yeah, but this is the swamp. This is the good bit of swamp. As you see, that's where we came. I didn't realise we were walking into it. Then I went, uh-oh. So I pulled away from the fence. So we have to go back the way we came in, because there's no way we can cover through that. Right, onwards. Good fun, eh? Getting dark. I don't think the frost cleared from the bottom of the tent at all. Dog water's got to stay outside because they make too much of a mess, but it did freeze last night, so I'm going to have to make sure I break it if it does, because they'll be looking for a drink, and I think they're drinking and they're licking ice. Plate of wood, emergency wood if I need it. I'll show you in here. I cut a load of wood. I went mad for about 2 hours. All that wood there. All that. Sorry, I've got your scuba feet there. In terms of the starter wood, I've got emergency dry wood there. I will put some candles and push them away. Dogs are wrapped up. Stella was on my bed. I took the yellow fluorescent jackets and left them on the barrow that I used to bring the gear up out here. And whilst I was chopping wood, it was only 2 hours, they froze. And I can tell you what, you can feel the temperature dropping now. My hands are feeling it. So yeah, I got back. Had the last of my cheese rolls from yesterday. And started cutting wood with a vengeance because I think it's going to be another really cold night. The wind changes. It's supposed to be a northerly. It's supposed to be blowing the other way behind us. Thankfully, the smoke's not coming in the tent. I really took my time cutting wood today. Yesterday I was in such a rush and I was tired and had been driving up and all that, so I didn't put the effort in. But today I stripped all the wet bark off the wood, and it should be decent wood now once it starts drying out. So that's it. We're going to batten down the hatches and warm right up because it's been a cold one again. Whew. Nice. But yeah, the frost ain't come off the bottom of the tent at all. But oh yeah, before I do go, there's a great pitch spot in between the trees there. Would take this tent and you'd be tucked out away, it'd be brilliant. But there was 2 reasons why I didn't want to do that. One, when I got here, it was blowing a hoolie and there was a thin wood tree right over the campsite, and it was swaying like that, and I thought, nah, if that comes down, even though I can't see any wood coming down, but if it did come down, it kind of hurt. So that was that. And then right next to it, a little bit further on, there was a load of cow dung all over the place. So some cows have been up here or got away or something. It's definitely not deer. So that was too close for the tent, and they'll get covered in it, and oh, it'd be murder. So I came down here also for another reason. During the day, I knew the sun would come up and swing round, and it did. It caught 2/3 of the tent, but didn't catch this back end. But again, it did a job, didn't it? It warmed the tent out, dried it out a bit. But I need it to get damp and dry out to kind of season it, so we don't get no leaks if it does rain heavily. Right, my hands are absolutely freezing. And as I say, it's 4:15 and it's just about to get dark. About the next 20 minutes or so. Right, inside for us.